Okay, Madam Clerk.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-6 at SEC, notice of which has been sent to the record in the Star Ledger and is posted on the municipal bulletin board. Okay,
Okay. Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Here.
Councilman Battaglia,
Here.
Mayor LaBrus.
Here, would everybody please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America,
and to the republic
like for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
One
one
nation,
nation,
nation
under
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You. There are no proclamations and presentations. There's no minutes to approve. So we'll move right on to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor, and invited guests. This is the city manager's report for September 1st, 2020. The city has rescheduled its third and final drive-in movie. It will now take place on Thursday, September 10th. This summer, we were able to bring this family fun event to our community. We hope that everyone enjoyed this, and we hope to bring it back next year. 2, our city offices are still open by appointment only. Please call the department directly to schedule your appointment. A phone directory is located on the hackensack.org for your convenience. Please be advised that a mask must be worn in all city buildings for assistance. 3, the city was recently advised of an issue with the traffic light at Court Street and Main Street. We have had the traffic light readjusted and the other lights in the area checked as well. We have further confirmed the following with Bergen County Planning and Engineering. I'm going to read this because it's kind of detailed, but it makes sense if you think about it. If you are stopped at the stop bar northbound on Main Street and you would see a red signal, the signals are, strike that, the signals that are dark would turn green for the Court Street traffic turning north onto Main Street. The same way for the traffic off of Sussex Street. Main Street South would see a red at the stop bar, and when traffic turning off of Sussex to the south would see a green signal on the signals that are not visible to the southbound stop bar. It was done this way so the traffic on Main Street would not see conflicting red signals and green signals at the same time. 4th, Labor Day is coming. Please enjoy the holiday and be safe. And my last comment is that there will be a September 11th remembrance at the firehouse headquarters. A filming of that will be in honor of those lost on September 11th. PD, fire department, and residents can be invited, and it will be videotaped so it can be reviewed if you go to the city website. And that would complete the city manager's report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have a lot of adoptions tonight. You ready, Madam Clerk?
Okay. Resolution
The 3-day.
Yeah, oh, by the way, before we get started, I forgot, we need to mention the closed session. I omitted this at the Cal meeting, and just for the record, we did have a closed session at 5 o'clock today where the city council met and discussed certain confidential matters. These included certain litigations. This included the Delgado litigation, the Riesma litigation, and ongoing litigation relating to the police department incident at 64 Prospect Avenue. So just want to make sure I got that on the record before we all forget. Thank you.
Okay. 303-20.
Final adoption of ordinance 27/2020, an ordinance to amend and correct Chapter 13A of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Condominium and Cooperative Unit Owners Advisory Board, to rename it the Condominium Cooperative and Multi-Unit Rental Building Advisory Board. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public, please?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anybody from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please unmute your device. Hearing no one from the public, a motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, ordinance number 27/2020 is passed second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 304-20.
Final adoption of ordinance 28/2020, an ordinance to amend chapter 107 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, licenses and permits to remove a fee for a tax certification file via email as set forth in attachment 1 to chapter 107. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anyone from the public who would like to speak to Resolution 304-20 and only to 304-20, please come forward, unmute your device. Hearing no one from the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey, ordinance number 28/2020 is passed second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 305-20.
Resolution 305-20, adoption of ordinance number 29/2020, a capital ordinance of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, authorizing an ordinance for the purchase of certain real property identified as Block 316, Lot 1, commonly known as 220 Union Street, and appropriating $3 million and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the reserve for the sale of the city assets in the current fund of the City of Hackensack. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anybody from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please unmute your device. Hearing no one from the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 29/2020 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 306-20.
Adoption of ordinance number 30/2020, an ordinance authorizing the acquisition of certain real property identified as Block 316, Lot 1 on the official tax map of the City of Hackensack, commonly known as 220 Union Street, to be utilized as the city's building department and other potential public uses. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anybody from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please unmute your device. Hearing no one from the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, ordinance number 30-2020 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 307-20.
Adoption of ordinance number 31-2020, ordinance authorizing entry of real estate purchase and sale agreement with designated redeveloper Anderson Street Station Urban Renewal LLC for sale of block 419, lot 18, the building department site pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Thank you. Motion to open to the public, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anyone from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please unmute your device. Hearing no one from the public, a motion to close to the public, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 31-2020 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Resolution 308-20.
308-20, adoption of ordinance number 32-2020, an ordinance to amend chapter 117 of the Code of the City of Hackensack Parks to formally establish rules for the use of the city tennis courts. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anybody from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please unmute your device. Hearing no one from the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Motion to adopt the ordinance, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, ordinance number 32-2020 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 309-20.
Adoption of ordinance number 33-2020, an ordinance authorizing financial agreement for market rate rental apartment and retail project to be constructed upon block 419, lots 22, 26, and 27, and block 419, lot 18 by Anderson Street Station Urban Renewal LLC, an urban renewal entity pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anyone from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please unmute your device. Seeing no one from, or hearing no one from the audience, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Motion to adopt the ordinance?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 310-20.
Hold on. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, ordinance number 33, 2020 is passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Sorry, you lost me for a second. Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Be it
Aye.
resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 34, 2020, as introduced, is now passed on its first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on September 22nd, 2020, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place, all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on the first reading and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 311-20.
Introduction of ordinance number 35, 2020, a capital ordinance of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, authorizing an ordinance for certain capital improvements and acquisitions and appropriating $402,000 and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the fund balance of the general capital fund of the City of Hackensack.
Okay, need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 35, 2020, as introduced, does now pass on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on September 22nd, 2020, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council. And at such time and place, all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 312-20.
Introduction of ordinance number 36, 2020, an ordinance to amend chapter 148 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, streets and sidewalks to prohibit the placement of certain obstructions on public streets within the city.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 36, 2020, as introduced, does now pass on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on September 22nd, 2020, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council. And at such time and place, all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law, with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 313-20.
Introduction of ordinance number 37, 2020, an ordinance to amend chapter 170 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Vehicles and Traffic, to prohibit the unofficial reserving of parking spaces in section 170-6, general parking regulations.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 37, 2020, as introduced, does now pass on its first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on September 22nd, 2020, at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council. And at such time and place, all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Resolution 314-20.
Resolution authorizing award of contract to Suburban Consulting Engineers for 220 Union Street, design and construction phase 1 engineering services.
Okay, need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 315-20.
Resolution authorizing award of change order number 1 to Suburban Consulting Engineers for contract for Main Street Combined Sewer Separation Construction Management.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 316-20.
Resolution authorizing tax refunds for state board judgments and duplicate payments.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. And resolution 317-20.
Resolution authorizing payment of bills.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, we have consent agenda. We have a couple conflicts here, or we might do something different. Steve, resolution 321-20 regarding the agreement with the Hackensack Public School District about school nurses.
Yes.
All right. As you know, my wife is a public school teacher in Hackensack, and Mr. Sims works for a public school as well, one of our schools as well. So your recommendation is?
Well, the issue about the doctrine of necessity, which we have invoked to deal with school-related matters that cannot be addressed elsewhere, at the time there was a concern because Mr. Battaglia also might have had a conflict with a family member. If that conflict's been resolved, then we do not need to declare the doctrine of necessity because there would be 3 valid council members to be able to vote: Ms. Von Rudenberg, Deputy Mayor Canestrino, and Mr. Battaglia. So I would have to ask Leo, does he still have a family member working for the school system?
Yes, I do.
Is it somebody living in your home, or is it?
She live in my house.
So that would be, potentially a conflict. So I think under the circumstances, in order for this to be adopted, we would need to have a separate vote. We would need to declare that the doctrine of necessity exists, that there is no other way to adopt this because there is only 2 people who are unconflicted, that it is, of importance to the city, that this is a matter of importance, and there is no other way to proceed forward without declaring necessity. So if the council believes that's the case, I would suggest, taking a motion to record that vote of declaring the doctrine of necessity, and at that point, you would be permitted to vote on this, notwithstanding the conflict. Understanding we are disclosing to the public the fact there is a conflict. As noted, Mr. Battaglia has a family member, Mr. Mayor LaBrus has a family member, and Mr. Sims works for the Board of Education.
Okay, now as I understand it, there was another resolution added, but I don't see it on my updated resolution on the computer here relating to the drop-in center.
I would,
Correct?
Deputy Clerk, advise.
Yes, it was added at right before the meeting, so you wouldn't be on the docket. It was emailed to you, and it's resolution 333 calling for continued funding of the youth service program at Hackensack High School.
Yes, and I can briefly speak to that one as well. This came up literally today. The Hackensack High School has a has a youth services program that's been in place for 30 years, and it provides essential, critical mental health services to students. The program's been honored. It has been, a key part of the of keeping Hackensack children, giving them the tools that they need to deal with crises. It's funded by the state. It's been in place for 30 years, and quite frankly, there's only about 90 or so of these around the state that these programs even exist in, 90 or so municipalities. It was announced all of a sudden that they're going to zero out the funding for this program. They're going to take it down to zero, which will make it impossible for the program to continue. And so, the city is being asked, the city council is being asked to, advise the governor and our state legislators of the deep concern that this elimination of this program will have on the well-being of Hackensack students. Now, this one is a little bit different in that the resolution involving the school nurse services is actually entering into an agreement with the Hackensack Public School District according to the terms of the resolution. So there's, absolutely a conflict there that requires necessity. This one, we are not really adverse to the school district in any way. We're not entering into an agreement with them, but nonetheless, the funding of this program arguably could benefit, the employees of the school district in some way. And so out of an abundance of caution, even though I think with this one, there may not actually be a legal conflict, I would recommend declaring necessity to be able to vote on both, and proceeding forward in that manner. Again, I don't think that one's a conflict, but why not be especially sure that that's the case?
Okay, thank you. So we're going to pull Resolution 321-20 and 333-20 and read them separately.
And then Steve, what about 32620 for the fallen firefighter, Richard Kublik?
Yeah, so there's a resolution on the consent agenda, 32620, regarding the addition of health benefits for a firefighter based upon an issue that arose in the COW. I had made the recommendation that we amend this resolution. Obviously, normally, if we were all in the room, I would hand out the revised resolution, which I have typed up so that we actually have a written resolution to vote upon. But I would suggest for that one, I read that resolution as amended into the record, and then you can vote on the revised 32620.
Okay, so we're going to pull that and amend the resolution?
That's correct. And I will read that before you vote on it. I will read the revised resolution into the record, and anybody happy would be able to get one from the city clerk because it's already been amended. We did that in the break between the COW and the regular meeting.
Does anybody else have a conflict with anything else on the consent agenda? No? So let's move forward.
Okay, so the consent agenda items are going to be 318 to 332, with the exception of 321 and 326. So Resolution 318 is a resolution authorizing renewal of liquor licenses for the 2020-2021 license term. Resolution 319 is a resolution authorizing endorsement of proposed Bergen County Community Development grants. Resolution 320 is a resolution awarding contract of animal control services with the County of Bergen through December 31st, 2021. Resolution 322 is a resolution authorizing reappointment of Special Law Enforcement Officers Class 2. Resolution 323 is a resolution authorizing leave of absence for Erica Will, Municipal Court Administrator. Resolution 324 is a resolution authorizing leave of absence for Jacqueline Hashma, Executive Assistant in the Manager's Office. Resolution 325 is a resolution authorizing leave of absence for Ivanova Ferdinand, Keyboard and Clerk 1 bilingual in the Health Department. Resolution 327 is a resolution authorizing refund for fingerprint fee overpayment. 328 is a resolution authorizing release of escrow for 30 Jersey Place. 329 is a resolution authorizing release of escrow for 120 State Street. 330 is a resolution authorizing release of escrow for 500 South River Street. 331 is a resolution authorizing shared service agreement with County of Bergen for intersection improvements and signalization of Kindercamack Road and Jefferson Street intersection. And resolution 332 is a resolution authorizing the settlement of litigation entitled Delgado versus the City of Hackensack.
Okay, so I need a motion to adopt the consent agenda as it was just read.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
All right. So now we're going to do resolution 321-20.
Do we have to do the doctrine of necessity first?
Well, yes.
I would recommend that you have a separate roll call vote declaring the necessity. And as I said, we've disclosed the nature of the conflicts the fact that the council cannot proceed to adopt these resolutions given the conflicts of a majority of the board without declaring the doctrine of necessity.
So we do that before the resolution, correct?
You can declare it, I think, with one vote for both. And then at that point, you can proceed to adopt the resolutions.
Okay, so we're going to do, I'm going to declare a doctrine of necessity due to a conflict of interest due to either a council member working for the schools or family members working for the schools for resolution 321-20 and 333-20. So we can move forward with that. You need a motion.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
All right, and you can now read resolution 321-20.
Okay, resolution 321-20, resolution authorizing the City of Hackensack to enter into an agreement with the Hackensack Public School District regarding the school nurse services for non-public schools, the Bergen County Christian Academy.
Okay. Now we're going to scoot down to 326. How do you want to handle that, Steve?
You need to vote on it.
Well, 326, I have to read, right? So have we voted on the two resolutions yet?
No, we
I
need
only
to vote for
voted- we only-
21.
Yeah, so 326 isn't a conflict issue. That's just a revised resolution. So
Okay, so
out of order.
we'll go to 333.
We need to vote. We need to vote for 21.
Need a motion, please? Or
Offer.
roll?
Offer.
Second. Second.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Okay, so now we'll do 333-20.
333-20, resolution calling for continued funding of the youth services program at Hackensack High School.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
Councilwoman
call.
Von Rudenberg,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Okay, let's go to Steve. You can do 326 now.
Yeah, so this is the revised resolution authorizing extension of health benefits for the family of fallen firefighter Richard Kubler. And again, just for the record and for those observing, the city's intention is to be able to extend these health benefits for Mr. Kubler, who was acted certainly in a heroic manner during the course of his service with the Hackensack Fire Department, but we just need to make sure some procedural issues are properly addressed and any concerns dealt with. So, that's certainly the intention, and we'll be working on how that could be accomplished for the next meeting, and hopefully we will be able to do so. So the resolution as revised now reads, whereas on July 25th, 2020, Hackensack firefighter Richard Kubler passed away from injuries received in the performance of his duties as a Hackensack firefighter. And whereas the mayor and council of Hackensack are desirous to provide the family of firefighter Kubler with continued health insurance coverage under the city's health plan at no cost to his family, and wish to investigate the feasibility of doing so for the long term, while ensuring there is no gap in coverage while this review takes place. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, that the Chief Financial Officer is hereby directed to contact the family of firefighter Kugler and the city's insurance carrier to make provisions for this benefit. Be it further resolved that this coverage shall continue through September 30th, 2020, so long as the insurance carrier will permit same, unless during that period his spouse remarries or any covered survivors obtain health insurance through their employment. It is further understood that individual children are subject to the normal age limitations as other city employees. And be it further resolved, the city will further review and investigate the feasibility of continuing this coverage for an extended period, and if necessary and appropriate, will adopt further legislation as required at the meeting of September 22nd, 2020, certified to be a true copy of the resolution passed at the City Council meeting of the City of Hackensack held on September 1, 2020. Allison Savai, Deputy City Clerk. Any questions?
No, I need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Okay, with that, I need a motion to open to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anybody from the public who would like to speak, please unmute your device. Identify yourself by name and
Richard
You will
Salk,
have-
Hackensack, New Jersey. Can you hear me, Mr. Mayor?
yes.
I want to return again to this situation pointed out in the record article of August 15th regarding the illegal campaign contribution to your reelection campaign, the LaBrus team's campaign. Last meeting, I suggested that, Mr. O'Donnell's laundered contributions couldn't possibly have happened without someone in your campaign knowing to whom credit should be given in terms of largesse work. That's pay for play. I'm not criticizing it. That has nothing to do with fair and open bidding, Mr. Mayor. Just the nature of the beast. And I asked, well, who was the campaign treasurer? And Ms. LaBrus, you quickly asked the deputy mayor, Mrs. Canestrino, who the campaign treasurer was. And she said, I don't recall, 2017. Well, I looked at the elect forms, and guess what? Mrs. Canestrino, you were the treasurer. I mean, that boggles my mind that slipped your mind, but let's move on. So in looking at your elect returns, filed both in terms of Citizens for Change PAC and LaBrus team for whatever, it's interesting because that the woman from Boonton, who I'm sure cares about good government in Hackensack, gave you $2,600 at the last minute. That was a laundered contribution. And you see the normal people you would expect to see. The Boswell, the Neglias, the Archer Grinders, the Ray Wiss. And I'm not suggesting anything wrong about that. But what jumped out at me was what you don't see. And that's a little bit disturbing. Of course, Mr. O'Donnell, we know he got caught. We know what he was doing. He got a lot of work, built a lot to the city. Until he got nailed and started singing against other people, we didn't know what he was doing. But there's another name that's absent from Citizens for Change, from LaBrus team contributions, from your individual accounts. And that's Mr. Kleiman and his firm. So there's only two inferences to draw here. One is, Mr. Kleiman, you're just so great as city attorney, they won't even accept your money. We're just thrilled to have you here. Please, please don't ever leave us, and we don't want any money from you. Or something else, which is not very pretty, and maybe you don't even want to address this because it's not a healthy situation. And I'm telling you, all six of you, you're playing with dynamite with these election things. Be very, very careful. Thank you and good night.
And if I, Mr. Stalkin, respectfully, you should be very, very careful too. What you say here may be privileged, but you are itching very, very close to a defamatory allegation. So watch yourself, sir.
Well, I appreciate your legal advice, Mr. Kleiman, but the records speak for themselves. And
All right.
whatever.
Let's go back and forth, gentlemen. Thank you. Next person from the public, please.
Good evening. This is Bridget speaking. First and foremost, I'm going to say I don't want to hear anything from the cheerleading squad for this panel up here, and I'm going to speak to Ted. On Thursday, I sent an email with a picture to LaBrosse and Catastrino about the sewer water that was backed up in my basement. I then sent that letter stating and asking them to have DPW come in and clean the manholes out and the catch basins on each corner. Well, when I talked to Ted, Ted said, I didn't hire the 500 people that work at the DPW or for the city. But then I said to him, wait a minute, your management, they fall under you, under your watch. Back and forth with the emails, sending pictures, and letting everyone know that this is negligence on part of the city. No one wants sewer water inside their basements. It messes up the foundations of the home, and it also carries bacteria. Back and forth, Ted and I went. They said they sent someone. As loud as that truck is, no one was sent on Friday. No one cleaned out the catch basins, but they had the audacity to send me a picture of a manhole that was located on First Street. I live on Stanley Place. I said to him, that's not our manhole. I have opened that manhole myself with a crowbar, so I know what the manhole looks like. So the lies that continue, but then I get a letter from a lady by the name of Susan Banzon, who is a project manager. When did we get a city project manager? But let me explain something, Ted. I'm certified as a project manager. So if she is a project manager, she's getting paid and doing a very poor job. Because a project manager looks beyond each project that is done within the city and follows up to ride around. So Leo and Dave, I know you're part of DPW. I'm gonna say to you, shame on the both of you. Because Mr. Sims, you're part of this community, 4th Ward, and I will not allow this to be put on the back burner because it's the 4th Ward. You're gonna treat this community like you do Summit, Prospect, Fairmount, and any other part. If not, I did say to Ted's secretary, I will draw a negligent lawsuit if I continue to get backed up sewage water in my basement. It will lie on the responsibility of the city. We pay taxes just like everybody else, and that pays people's salary. So moving forward, don't send no more lies. I am very transparent. And that's what I wanted to receive from you, Ted, because you, I spoke to when you first came. And you said, anything before me, I can't control. But anything after me, I will be able to look into. But I think you got a little bit comfortable here being on this, with these 6 people here. So you better get uncomfortable and start realizing that you work for the people that pay the taxes and the residents. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next,
Good
please.
evening. Good evening. Carolyn Davis, Stanley Place. I'm going to, at one of the last meetings, I brought up about the manhole being cleaned and the schedule. And I also recently called down to put in a call to have them cleaned. The manhole on Stanley Place is right in front of my driveway. My husband, who announces every dime the garbage men come, they're here collecting the garbage. When it's street cleaning, they're here coming street cleaning. He's up and out by 5:30 in the morning. He would have said they're out there, and we also would have heard it. I also, and I'm not the only one, again, had about 5 inches of dirty, stinky, unhealthy sewer water in my basement and had to call a company to come and get it out. This has to be done more often. I'm so tired of cleaning out sewer water. For a while there, I thought we had it fixed. The problem is it's not being done enough. You know, Stanley Place is an issue, not just Stanley Place, but I can't speak for anybody else. But we come and speak about it. This has to be done if it has to be done every 3 months. We need it clean. It is unhealthy, it's unsafe. There's also other people on my block, the lady across the street. She doesn't speak English well, but she let me know she got water in her basement also. We're tired of getting unhealthy water, stinky sewer water in our basement. So I just wanted to announce again that whatever they're doing to clean, it needs to be done more often because it's disgusting to walk down to your basement. If you've never experienced it, the next time it happens, I will invite you to come to my basement and take a walk downstairs with me just to see what it's like. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Next person from the public, please.
Yes, hello.
Mr. Geddes, first, the quota is not ours. The quota is dictated by Fair Share Housing, or previously COA, which is the Center on Affordable Housing for the state of New Jersey. We have made an obligation from every developer, except for one in the very beginning, to donate to a affordable housing trust fund, which we are building up, and that money will go towards affordable housing. It's approximately equal to what it would cost for them to put those apartments up. That was the plan we've done, and that's the plan we've stuck to as part of the rehabilitation. It was driven by the rehabilitation plan. As far as systemic racism, it exists in this country. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to deny that it doesn't exist, but I don't think what you're seeing here in Hackensack is systemic racism. And that's just my opinion on that. But anybody else from the council would like to speak to this?
Yes, if I may, Mayor. Just again to reaffirm what I said at the last council meeting. What I said was that we were happy that we reached an agreement with Fair Share as to how to move forward with our affordable housing plan. Before, we have been collecting the money and will continue to, as the mayor explained. But for us to be able to use that money and to use it in conjunction that we work together with affordable housing, we first needed to have an agreement with them. And that was what I talked about last time. Yes, according to the agreement we have with them, their recommendation would be that we would have an additional 60 units built. I think I made it very clear at the last meeting that we will be happy to go beyond those 60 units as well. But the first step was to get agreement with the plan. That plan included overlay zoning for in the city where Fair Share and Hackensack worked together to say what are the places where we are going to have the most success in accomplishing that. And that was all defined as part of the plan. Now we can go forward with a spending plan and we will be able to use some of the money that we have to help this affordable housing progress come to existence, actually, to come to fruition. Listed in that plan was at least 4 different attempts that we have been working with outside folks to accomplish that. And we will continue to work with them and with others as they come forward. But this was step 1 for us to be able to have an agreement with them, for us to be able to use that money exclusively for Hackensack. All right, so that we can take this money and we can invest it in getting affordable housing for Hackensack. So that is what was said, and that is the mission of this city, and has always been to provide more affordable housing. And hopefully now that we have this agreement in place, we're going to really see progress happen. Thanks, John.
Thank you. Next person from the public, please.
Hello? Yes, hello?
I just want to add one more quick
Hello? Yes, hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, give your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Paul Davila. I'm a resident here on 105 Meadow Street, just by the courthouse. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm calling regarding to the issue of parking issue that I've been having since I've been living here for around 20 years. I went to the meeting, I believe was in May or August last year. And then I went to the meeting, I saw you guys, and I explained the problem of the parking because it's that it's the little street, it's a dead end. And then because of it's the dead end, a lot of cars coming to park here in this little street, and then trucks and not just cars. Anyway, so the problem is that at the time I explained you what was the problem. And then you say, well, we're gonna see the problem. We're gonna help you. And then you talk to Mr. Ted to come to see the problem. But the truth is that Mr. Ted never came. I mean, he came after a couple of days. And after a couple of days, it took around 6-7 months to come back to try to fix the problem. But instead of fix the problem, he put 2 big stones next to
Mr. DeVita, you there? Mr. DeVita?
He hit me by accident.
Sounds like we lost him, John.
Mr. DeVita?
Davila.
Davila?
Exactly.
Davila. Mr. Davila, can you hear us?
Oh, I think it's still asleep.
All right, if Mr. Davila comes back on, we're going to allow him another minute and a half. All right, Ally?
But in the meantime, Ted, can you just please take a note to go down and check on what's going on down there in case he doesn't get back on?
Yes, I will. But
Thank you.
as was explained to him, the roadway there never belonged to him. It's a town roadway that was just full of cars that parked there illegally and bunched in there because they didn't want to pay for parking. So he has not lost any of his parking. His concerns is that other people come down there and park, and I don't have the ability to restrict those people because apparently they still think it's the same old process. They can just park wherever they want. We've had the police department down there. There's sign posted for street sweeping. He's been made aware of that. He didn't want the signage put up. I said, sir, the sign was always there, but unfortunately things have changed and he's not happy with it, but I will follow up with him.
Oh, here.
The stone, Mr. Davila, Mr. Davila, let me ask you a question. 20 years ago, your 5 children that had cars weren't driving, correct?
May I ask you a question, please? How many spots, all right, there's 3 houses on Meadow. How many parking spots overall are on Meadow? If you had to count, if the street was completely parked, if there was a car parked in every spot, how many cars would there be? I'm just curious. Well, let's say 8 spots.
Mayor, there
Yes.
is essentially, there's no parking spots there. There's just the width of the roadway. What he has done, and the stones, all it did was shorten up the length of the road. It didn't prevent any more parking than he had before. He has the spaces in front of his garage, plus he has the lane where he's complaining about the street sweeping there. Other than that, there's 2 businesses there. There's essentially 3 houses, and that's the end of it. Mr. Davila, I didn't put up any. I personally, all I saw, and the only thing that, could you please let me finish? All I'm telling you is the only thing the city did was to put those 2 Jersey barriers so that people wouldn't park past your garage. I know of no knowledge that we put up additional. I spoke to Joe Wiglima, who told me that we had street sweeping signs posted there before. If those were added later, I have no personal knowledge of that.
So let's do this. Excuse me. Mr. Davila, we're way past 3 minutes, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to address this problem again, all right? Backtrack on signs when they were installed. And my point being is your street has to get cleaned. If there's no notification, how do you stop cars from blocking the street sweeper?
The other problem is that because he has 5 children that all drive cars, they fill that spot. 20 years ago, they didn't drive. So the conditions have changed. All right. I don't want to belabor this. I'll make an appointment. Come see you, Mr. Davila, and we'll look at you.
All right, let's please resolve, let's get this resolved, Ted.
All right,
Please
I
don't
got
put
it.
Mr. Davila, take Mr. Anglima down there, do whatever we
Yeah,
have to.
I got it. I understand.
Last name is.
Next, please. Anyone else from the public?
I can't see you.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
Regina DePasqua. Hi, I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I have 2 issues. One is, what's the status of our parks? Like, what can they be used for? Specifically, the discussion came up about basketball, that the basketball is being played at Carver and Union. Powerfly doesn't even have nets, hoops, not even hoops. And somebody said Columbus was still boarded up. And then somebody else told me that there were clinics being run at Carver in the morning. Now, I assumed they were youth clinics. Maybe they weren't. But I did an open request for the program plan as per the governor's executive order. Any youth program has to submit a plan. And there was no basketball plan. So I don't know what was being run at Carver Park in the morning, but, you know, she since deleted her comment on the Facebook page. But that's number one. What's the status of the parks? What activities can be done in the parks, or is it still passive? The second, somebody brought to my attention that Hackensack Volunteer Ambulance was hiring, paying $17 to $20 an hour, benefits of employee assistance, paid time off. And the question comes up, well, if you're getting paid, you're no longer volunteer. And who's funding this? And how did this come about? So 2 questions there.
Okay, I'm going to defer most. That's the first I heard of the ambulance.
Me
Thank
too.
you for paying attention. So go ahead. This is, you got the answers for the park? Ed?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were referring to me. The issues of the parks can be used for practice, but there's no organized or structured game, and anything that has been either proposed or considered has been stopped because other than baseball, which basically just has drills for these kids, there are no organized sports actually competing because they come in contact.
Okay, but Carver has all of its hoops up and good to go, and people are playing there. Columbus and Powerfly have nothing.
Regina, all I can tell you is we're policing that anything that was either started or proposed has been stopped.
Okay, but what about just having nets for kids to throw a ball into at Powerfly and Columbus?
I'm not aware that there is no nets on those hoops. I will certainly look into it. If they're not, I'll make sure that they're installed.
This was a week ago. I haven't been past Powerfly in a week, but it's not on my regular route, but I'd appreciate it.
I don't want to comment on something that I don't know factually, but I will certainly find out.
Okay.
Guys, I want to speak to the Carver Park issue. Evidently, there was a clinic being run. It was unbeknownst. It wasn't run through the city, to my knowledge anyway. And we found out about it, and it was closed down. So, that's what happened over at Carver Park. There was flyers out. I saw a flyer on something. But, yeah, I would check with the governor's office first before we put any nets back up because wrestling, it's contact sport, but they are.
Carver and they're up in Union.
I'm sorry?
Carver Park and Union Street Park have wood over the rims, so they can't play basketball in that park.
No. Carver, I have seen it with my own eyes. I can send a picture.
They may be dribbling balls.
Nets are available to use in Carver Park.
They may dribble balls in the park, but they're not shooting in that park, and no games are in that park, either one of them.
There are nets and hoops in Carver Park. There aren't any in Powerfly.
And wood over the rims, so a ball can't go through the rim. The reason why on Carver Park,
even a rim in Powerfly. Okay, fine. The games I saw weren't happening. All right.
Thank you, Mrs. DePasqua.
Okay, and who will look into the volunteer ambulance paying $17 to $20 an hour? I understand they may need help, but who's financing this?
Well, it's certainly the city's not contributing money, but I will investigate and report back.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, DePasqua. Next, please.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, Ralph Contini, Hackensack. On behalf of the Hackensack chapter of UNICO, the Italian-American community of Hackensack, and concerned citizens of Hackensack, we want to thank the mayor and the council for their action to preserve Columbus Park and the Columbus statue in Hackensack. We very much appreciate the mayor and council's commitment for respecting the Italian-American heritage of Hackensack, and of course, Hackensack is the county seat of Bergen County. Christopher Columbus has always been an iconic symbol to the Italian-American community and many others to remember the many things our ancestors did to ensure a better life for themselves and their descendants. We work hard every day, just like our forefathers did, to make the city of Hackensack a better place for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Contini. Next, please, anyone from the public? With that, a motion to close to the public, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Ron Rudenberg. Aye. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
And Mayor, we got one email of a public comment.
Yes.
Okay, it's from Alana Lewis. My name is Alana Lewis. I am a rising sophomore at Bergen Tech and a Hackensack resident. I'm imploring the City Council of Hackensack to join the 9 other towns and cities in New Jersey in a stand against the power plant. While it's understandable that emergency power is important in case of natural disasters, clean energy might be more impactful in the long run. The power plant will use fracked gas, which is already known for releasing chemicals including mercury, methane, and other carcinogens into the air. Considering we're in the time of COVID-19, many people who have been infected with the virus or those who already have medical conditions like asthma have weakened lungs, and the chemicals in the air will worsen with those symptoms. The effects of breathing in the gas doesn't limit to only breathing problems, but also neurological problems, blood disorders, and even cancer. Fracked gas does not only affect our air, but also groundwater. Studies and tests from researchers at Duke University have shown that drinking water near fracking were contaminated with dangerous levels of methane. The power plant suggested location also shows an environmental problem. The transit power plant is only a half-mile from residents' homes, a mile from a school. Toxic fumes of the plant will be even stronger in those areas, affecting the health of thousands in the process. Chemicals from the plant can be easily spread through the Hackensack River, considering the flood-prone area. In addition, fossil fuels put into the air by the plant will add carbon into the air, resulting in climate change that cause severe weather across the globe, including the hurricanes that the plant insists will help during. The New Jersey Transit Power Plant will not only bring these issues, but also goes against many parts of the well-known New Jersey Clean Energy Act. The act requires energy providers to source a portion of their load in renewable energies, including solar, wind, tidal, and many other subsidies. The act promotes a lesser dependency on fossil fuels and reducing emissions in the air we breathe, which the power plant seems to ignore. So many subsidies of the fossil fuels exist in the 21st century: geothermal, tidal, renewable fuel cells, and that's certainly not even the end of the list. Opposing the NJ Transit Power Plant will be one step closer to a cleaner, healthier, and more efficient future for us and future generations. I hope this essay inspires you to take a safer and healthier action in the right direction.
Very good. Thank you. I want to congratulate that young lady, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Young lady for writing a great essay. It was very well written and well received. We spoke about this earlier. This council would never back a proposal project like that without doing its due diligence and making sure we do environmental impact studies, or that we read the impact studies on and the economics of it, and why it has to be there, and all the details. So you'll be hearing more from the council on this down the road, but I'm sure we most likely, since we oppose the North Bergen plant, that there's a good chance we would oppose this one as well. All right. And with that, Steffi?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. In regards to
Public first?
Did we do a motion to close to the public? I need a motion to close the public.
We didn't.
We did it or no?
The second.
Raise your volume, Stephanie. It's too low.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we need to close to the public. Steffi, Kathy, did you?
I'll offer.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Unopposed. Go ahead, Steph.
Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. In regards to the two ordinances, 36/2020 and 37/2020, that had to do with amending the existing ordinances for obstructions in the street and saving parking spots. I think they're great ideas. I think we should just try to get a nixle or some type of notification out to the residents before that becomes solidified, just so we're not getting, nobody's getting tickets or any kind of things like that, because there are basketball nets out there and there are different things going on. But if we could just kind of get a notification so everyone's aware of this is coming out, just so no one gets upset. In regards to the New Jersey Transit Power Hub, like the mayor said, we were adamantly against the power plant, the North Bergen power plant, and we would never want to do anything that makes our citizens unhealthy and compromise our environment. We've been doing a lot of work and we're focusing on a lot of different green infrastructure and improvements. So, you know, we really have to look at that and make sure it's nothing that's going to harm us or our city. And lastly, this Thursday will be the first official day for school for our Hackensack students. And, you know, it's bittersweet, it's remote. You know, a lot of the kids are upset they're not going back. It's just not the same feeling. And with that, I would continue to encourage kids to get outside, enjoy the fresh, you know, the fresh air, the nice weather. The cold months will be upon us soon. And, you know, I just think the little bit of outside they could get while the weather is still nice is important. You know, it's tough for these kids, but we're doing a lot of, you know, our school is following the same steps that a lot of the schools in the area are following by going remote, but it's tough. I see it in my own kids and a lot of their friends, for even the kids that said, you know, I don't like school, I don't want to go back to school. They're upset. It's kind of hitting home now. That's the first year, and, you know, there's new teachers and new classmates, and they don't get to meet them. So I'm just, you know, suggesting to encourage kids to get out, and, you know, following up on Mr. Pasqua's comment, maybe we could, you know, ride around the parks, get some clarification on the governor's orders, make sure that we're doing everything we can to encourage kids to get out and play in the parks, while keeping safe and socially distanced, and, you know, keeping our eye on the numbers and making sure there's nothing else going on. But, you know, just encourage them to get out. That's the most important thing. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night.
Okay, thanks. As I usually do, I like to just go over some of the highlights of the docket if it relates to either finance or redevelopment. So from a financial perspective, we have a small, relatively small anyway, bond on tonight to do a few things. Some well-needed or long-needed renovations in our fire department and police department. We're doing some work there. Body cameras, you know, we talked about this earlier at the COW meeting, and how important it is for our police. So, you know, this is certainly something that the city is anxious and ready to move forward with. And lastly, some stuff for the DPW. One of them is looking into some surveillance systems for some of our parks, or for all of the parks. So I think these are some steps in the right direction, relatively small, but nonetheless important things that we focus on. As far as some development updates, you see on here some modifications to some of the plans, some of our newer proposed developments, looking at something on Green Street, corner of Green and Essex, and something on Anderson Street that we've talked about before. So again, getting all the documents refined and finalized and ready to see some development start taking place there is reflected in what you see here tonight. Part of the Anderson Street development, as we talked about last time, involved moving, you know, selling and moving the building department, and we're looking to do that right next door to the City Hall complex in the Earl Jones building. And again, that was reflected in some of the resolutions here tonight. And very important, again, providing not only room for the building department, but some additional room for some of the things we need to continue to operate efficiently in the city, and more parking, and getting the City Hall complex kind of close together in the same proximity of each other for the most part. So again, a good initiative, and nice to see these things on tonight and moving in the right direction. I can't believe it's September already. So yes, as Steph said, get out, enjoy the good weather while we can. That's about all we can really do. So let's all do that and have a happy and fun-filled Labor Day. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend this weekend. So everybody enjoy while we can, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Dave?
Good evening. I hope everyone is enjoying the last days of summer. I feel the pain of the residents between Passaic Street and Central Ave, that being Stanley Place, James Street, Berry Street, Berdan, Clay, and High. I agree, the manholes should be cleaned more frequently. I will work with Ted and the DPW to implement a favorable schedule. To address the basketball hoops, some parks in the city, the rims were removed because they were easy to take down. And some of the rims in the parks, they were more complicated, and wood was placed over the rims so no balls would go through, and those wood have been on those rims since March. No different than Polyfi Park on the basketball court. They have about 50 people doing Zumba out there. Or you can take Columbus Park and Johnson Park, where people are kicking soccer balls all day and not talking about the Royals program. This week is the first week of school. I wish the staff and students and administration a safe and happy 2021 school year. Good night.
Thank you. Leo?
Yeah, first of all, I want to send to the police department. They're doing a wonderful job on the Fairmont Avenue. You know, they are catching people that really go over the limit. The limit is 25, and they're catching people doing 45, 50. And we're going to try to get 10 more radars for the cars, and that way we got more equipment and the police can enforce the rules all over the city. Too many people are speeding. And the other problem that I see is that the bicycle continue in the sidewalks in Main Street, and now we got electrical bikes and electrical scooters. So we have to control that situation. I am glad that we're gonna get finally the body camera for the police officer, and that will be something that's gonna help to get confidence between the residents and the police department. Thank you to the police department again. Be safe, stay home. Thank you.
Thank you. First, I want to speak to the one resolution we spoke about tonight, about defunding the youth services of the drop-in center at Hackensack High School. I think this is a huge mistake. I'm totally against it. In this political climate, with what these kids are hearing and seeing and going through, and with this health crisis we're in, now more than ever, even if they can't use it till they get back into school, now more than ever, that is needed for their health and their safety. Programs like this, you cannot let slip away. And you know, my advice to everybody is we, as a council, will do is we will reach out to Governor Murphy, and you can do that as well. You can call Trenton and do the same thing, saying you're opposed to defunding this program. These programs are important. They're there for a reason. As was mentioned before, it's an award-winning program, and we want to keep it, and our kids deserve it. Again, I want to comment on Alana Lewis. I did write her name down about the great essay she wrote, and I'm guessing she's a very good student because she's very well written. Body cameras, as Leo just mentioned. Sooner the better. You know, this is all part of the Obama pledge that we took. It will definitely help matters, and it's going to hold the police department to a new standard. And though I think our police department is doing a very well job, a great job, and if you look at the way incidents have declined since 2017, it's been remarkable. But that said, it's still nice to have a body camera that actually documents exactly what's going on. And we ordered about 130 of them tonight, I believe. 120 body cameras. So, and the training will be done on those, and as well as tasers. We're still working on taser training, but those are necessary items. And I want to wish the school system a safe school year to our teachers, our students, as well as the administration, and all the workers in the schools. It's a tough time starting schools. It's, my wife's a teacher, and you got to realize last year they already had their students, right? So they knew their students. So when they're doing their Zoom meetings and everything, they knew who they were. This year, teachers are getting new students they never even met before. So it's a big challenge for these teachers, and I give them a lot of credit. And they'll be tough on them, but they'll get through it, and we'll all get through this pandemic together. Hopefully we're coming near the end, and the vaccines right around the corner. Actually, I will announce tonight that I volunteered to be on a trial for the vaccine at the hospital, because I think it's important. And Dr. Sawchuk has already gotten the injection, so I figured if he can do it, I can do it. So with that, I wish everybody a wonderful night, and it's been a quick summer, I'll tell you that much, but have a great Labor Day weekend. This coming weekend, like Kathy said, it's supposed to be great weather, and we deserve it. All right, good night, everybody. Motion to close the meeting?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call, or all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Good night.
Aye.